Hey guys, yours truly, Kevin Grace. I'm here in New York City in the NoHo section. If you're familiar with this area, the Bowery, this is where at 315, the Bowery was the great CBGB's bar. And CBGB's stands for Country, Bluegrass, and other uplifting music or something like that. But it was basically kind of like the birthplace of punk and new wave music. You had bands such as the Talking Heads, Blondie with Debbie Harry, and the Ramones were some of the big names that played here, and of course Patti Smith. Now opened in 1973 and closed in 2006. Now I was here a few years ago and went inside and did a vlog, but of course, as you know, my YouTube channel was disabled. I did not keep the video, unfortunately, so I'm here to do it again. So we'll go into the store as it is now. It's an upscale boutique, John Vavato's, and it's very expensive, but they kind of keep it the same. And there used to be a mirror over here of Debbie Harry. Now they've changed it to Bad Brains. If you're into punk music, you'll know the name. So let's go check out. It's a really cool looking mural right here. I think this is kind of like the only black punk group. I don't believe they perform anymore, but yeah, this is Bad Brains. And like I said before, when I was here was a Debbie Harry post mural, and I'll try to look it up and post it here as well. But let's go over to CBGB's, which is across the street. It's a beautiful day in New York, so let's go check it out. All right, guys, so let's go in. I'll show you the pictures of what CBGB's looked like before, and totally different than what it looks like now. So let's go check it out. This is a high-end place.
Sorry, buddy. Just on the report.
Alright guys, so I couldn't do any video inside, but you can take as many photos as you want, but no video. And I think the last time I was in, I did sneak some video, but wasn't able to do it this time. I wasn't testing the water, but I was appreciative that they let me take some photos. But I'll put some video about CBGB's at the end of this video. If you like this video, please subscribe down below, and feel free to leave me comments about CBGB's. Maybe you came here at one time to hear some punk music or new wave music or whatever, but leave your comments down below, and please like and subscribe. Thanks.
New York City, when the Me generation adopted the hustle of the streets and a new sound was erupting from the underground. 1973, shaping the culture.
When you have like Chris and Tina, David Byrne from the Talking Heads, all four of the Ramones, you know, the Heartbreakers, Richard Hell, Television, Patti Smith, Debbie Harry, all in the same room, it's gonna be fun, let me tell you. And it was. It was the best time ever.
The period of the 70s is a period of collision between the aspirations of youth culture and the fact that we can't trust any of these old institutions, and we'll just, like, you know, keep it over here in our funky little corner.
I was in a lot of punk bands, and we didn't call ourselves punk rock. We were punk bands. Then punk rock came along later. There were bands like the Slits. The Ramones were just starting.
Everyone thinks of CBGBs as, oh, I wanted to go there. No, you didn't. This was like the worst neighborhood, in New York.
Surrounding CBGB's was the Bowery. It was the most notorious down and out neighborhood in New York.
On the Bowery, the Bowery.
It was a scary place to hang out.
The Bowery. I'll never go there anymore.
But a very savvy place to open up a club where you could afford to just be super creative.
For $1.50, you could get a quart of beer and a pack of cigarettes. And boy, you were doing okay.
CBGB's, strangely enough, stands for Country, Bluegrass, and Blues.
And other music for undernourished gormandizers. No one ever knew what the U in Omfug stood for, because it changed every week. It was some weird hilly thing.
Hilly Crystal was a burly Jewish guy. He really respected creativity. He would not allow cover bands to play CBGBs. You had to come in with something original that you had created and make your own statement.
It reeked of urine. It was grimy as hell. But that little stage in the back, when they started having music, that's when it started happening.
Seeing the Dictators, the Ramones, the Dead Boys, it was just fantastic.
Suddenly, rock and roll wasn't something that just happened in arenas on huge stages by people who were semi-godlike. You had to pass by the dressing room at CBGB's to get to the bathroom.
The heart of what punk is to do what you want to do, and to do that with 100% of what you're trying to do.
When the Ramones walked out in those black leather jackets and those sneakers, that was shocking. That was shocking. They looked like the SS. And they were singing, I'm a Nazi, baby, I'm a Nazi, yes I am. And you didn't know if they were kidding or not.
Blondie came up through CBGB's, and Debbie Harry certainly had a trail of groupies of both genders.
God, Debbie Harry up there in her fishnets. You'd look around and look at the guys like staring at her and think, oh my God, that guy's gonna rush.
Probably not with the same speed and the same focus.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Having me here, having the time of my life.
Well, that's great.
I'm really excited to be here at CBGB's. And I was telling someone earlier that CBGB's was going to become something. It was closing down. It was going to become a Pinkberry. It would have been a Starbucks. It would have been something corporate could have moved in here. So I'm really excited that John took it over and kept the rock and roll memorabilia alive and kept the punk ethic alive.
I walked in here one night. I was looking for an event space in the neighborhood, and I walked. The realtor that I was talking to had the key to the door, and I said, "Can I just take a look in there?" And I went in, and I didn't know. I never thought about it. I walked in, and it was like, this sounds funny, but in like 15 seconds, like a lightning bolt struck me and said, "Make it work."
John's got a great sense of street and high-end fashion and a nice fusion of the two. So, and that speaks to me because I don't ever just dress one way. Because I have too many different interests and too many emotions. John's collection captures all of them.
I think there's two things that are going to happen here. I think there's a customer that's going to come shop here who loves the cultural aspect of it and also likes what we do with our clothes. And then there's a person who's going to come. I don't think they're shopping. I think they're wandering and they're exploring, and and they're absorbing what was here, and they're feeling what we feel, like the electricity that we felt with the space when we were working on it.
I think if anybody was going to take over this space at CBGB's, John Varvatos is the perfect person. His heart and soul is just in this, and when he was telling me he was going to do it, I was like, wow, it's going to be cool, there'll be stuff on the walls. Just totally blew me away. And you know, a lot of people have different opinions. I think it's an amazing job. I'd rather see this than a Starbucks or a Chase Manhattan Bank.
I just felt like I want to be respectful to what this was and what was on the Bowery. And the only thing that we really structurally did is we put a new floor in, because the floor was gone, but we used reclaimed wood to make it feel like it'd been here, because the floor was collapsing. And of course we had to put new air conditioning system in and lighting and all that kind of stuff. But we really tried to keep the integrity of the space by really, because the walls that are what speaks here. You know, I don't have to tell anybody the story. They can walk around this space, and they can really understand that there's a history here.
I grew up here since I was 12, drinking 40 ounces out on the street and playing in here, and it's done with a lot of respect and love. And I think he's kept the heart and soul and the realness to this place.
I really wanted people to understand when they walked in that if they weren't here to shop, it was inviting for them to anyway to come in and just hang out. It's like a museum wants to change. You want to come to exhibitions and you want to see something new. We're going to treat this store like that, and we're going to keep it exciting with exhibitions. We're going to keep it exciting with musical guests that we're going to perform here, upcoming artists, and we're going to have clothes that are going to be exciting and interesting in here. So it's a true kind of merger of rock and roll and fashion in one place.